Hello there everyone, this is a relatively quick, update video about my character in a role-playing game I play, A Song of Ice and Fire role-playing. If for whatever reason you're just hearing about this, A Song of Ice and Fire role-playing is a tabletop created by Green Ronin, set in the same universe as the A Song of Ice and Fire novels. Our particular campaign takes place a century or two before the novels. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not that familiar with the universe lore. At any rate, I've made infrequent updates about something, whether it's been my character, or whether it's been a conversation that I had with Jonas between our two characters. In this particular video, I want to discuss how my character has changed since campaign start, particularly since the past 4 sessions. We've just completed our 4th story goal. We're looking to move forward. We have a new Lord of the House. He is the lost son, Halen Caladan, who has returned to us. He was originally a ward of our most hated enemy, and he is, by all accounts, looking to bring a great deal of piety and duty, and a sense of honor to our house, which has been sorely lacking. And his presence, a strong ruler, feeling that way, threatens to destroy my character, threatens to destroy Jonas's character, threatens to destroy Tina's character as well, I feel. Of course, we all have our own opinions on that, and that's particularly mine. At any rate, I've discarded the old character sheets I was using in favor of just putting something on Google Drive, because at this point I had so many qualities that was overwhelming the spreadsheet, and there's a few other bugs and things that it had, and I don't need the auto-calcing thing anymore. And so, Bree's character sheet. If you're unfamiliar with the A Song of Ice and Fire system, it is a D6 system with some bonus dice or penalty dice attached. You have objective numbers that you're meant to reach. But yes, the 3D, 2D, 4D means how many D6s that you roll. Sometimes they're static modifiers. My character has gotten a total of 82 experience, which is less than all of the others because I chose some personal glory. And almost all of that has gone into, well, athletics. Well, excuse me, let me rephrase that. All of the experience points I've spent have gone into athletics, and then a specialty in that. Whenever I started Bree, she changed from being a short-bladed person to a brawling person. This fit in with the story background that she had, because I thought it was more practical for her to be a brawler, due to how long she'd been kidnapped. And it also was a design to make her a support character in combat situations. The idea would be that she would attack someone, she'd grab that person, and then either Haldemir, who's playing Ser Alaric, or Tina, who's playing Nima, would be able to finish the job. What has happened, though, is that she has become such a powerful wrecking force that she can dismantle people on her own just fine. Now, at this point, I've put so many destiny points into qualities, and my experience into qualities, that I simply don't think combat needs to be upgraded anymore. She's wanted to defend herself, and she thinks she's actually accomplished that. She doesn't think anyone can just kidnap her on a lark. You know, no raiders can just run up to her and surprise her. She can handle herself fairly well. There are certainly people who are better at combat than her, who could, dismantle her and take her down. But she's got self-defense covered. And so with that in mind, I've decided to emphasize the crafty opportunist section of her personality. In the biography page I've made, I've done a little updating on her character, on character relationships, which haven't changed PC-wise. I've just added a few new ones, like how Rosette is just below Nini here, but on the same branch for how Bree feels about them. Rosette in particular, of course, is a narrator character. She married Dark's character, Lanny. She is brash, and she's Dornish. She has a lot of ideas, and she's looking to implement them. She is a manipulator and a planner herself, although she's not particularly good at it. At any rate, yes, current events have deeply upset her. Her attitudes have changed. Her body has changed due to how much time has passed in-game. And there's just like a little 2-page section, and I use big font, so it's not really even that long talking about that stuff. But ultimately, now that I've, inflated athletics to solid, a very solid level, and I've put her strength up to be the highest it can go with that athletics result, I'm going to look into, as just noted, filling in more of her personality, her crafty opportunist type idea. And it starts with the treacherous quality. I thought about taking, more of things pertaining to combat, but again, she's changing. And in large part, that's because circumstances are changing around her. She loves the freedom that she possessed whenever her weak father was the lord of the house. And she sees current circumstances as a threat to her freedom. And with that in mind, she is going to start emphasizing more of a, I wouldn't say speaking role, because I don't see her persuasion ever going above 2 dice, or, more like a knowledgeable type person, because I don't see that going above 2 dice either. I spread out her starting experience, what little I got of it, as a, 11-year-old kid. I spread it out quite varied, with fighting being the only 4 dice one. And we're going to start upgrading other things. Awareness, cunning, and deception are certainly on the table, as is willpower, because of how stubborn Bree is. Each of these things costs 30 experience points to upgrade. A specialty dice only costs 10. So, I'm not entirely sure how it'll break down yet. You also need time to train things. It'll depend on what happens in the next several sessions until our next story goal is done. That determines what it is that Bree wants to upgrade. She'll be spending more time with her uncle, because she'll be traveling with him in like a diplomacy-type mission. And so she might very well end up picking up some deception skills, or awareness, or cunning. Probably not cunning so much. Awareness, deception are certainly 2 that I'm oscillating between. Endurance is certainly highly tempting for me, as is agility to a lesser extent, but to fit Bree's personality, the desire to focus more on, like, the talking... Again, it comes back to keeping her freedom, and she can't punch everyone to keep that. She is a manipulator. She is a deceiver. She is a controlling person, or at least that's what she's set up to be. She's not someone who's chatty Cathy, or whatever the stupid phrase is. Yeah, so if you're following along with the story, look towards Bree, emphasizing these qualities more. Bree has been a behind-the-scenes character, particularly this last story goal. She has not been the primary focus. I'm alright with that. I made a kid who's female in a non-Dorn setting because I've, in part, let me try that sentence again. Whenever I made this character, it was to explore, to explore numerous elements, one of them being, the cultural rebel thing. And I've discussed and chatted about that before in the past, I think, in the introduction video. Point ended up being that I didn't expect her to have a primary focus, not until she got older. And if the campaign continues, we'll eventually have time skips. And, Decim and Alaric may very well die. And, yes, thank you. I know, I'm ruining everything by doing a monitor capture with arrow enabled. Thanks, appreciate it. Point ended up being, though, that, until, well, I don't even know it until. For the entire campaign, really, the primary focus has not been on her. And that's great. I'm fine with that. She's been behind the scenes. I've written quite a bit of stuff to Manikai and received quite a bit in the way of reply. Just this past story goal, she did quite a bit of stuff at home while everyone else was away. How much did she do? Well, as far as she's concerned, and I'm inclined to agree, she saved the damn house. Shit was going tits up. Primarily because of our godlessness. The people were highly upset about that. They were upset about the Dornish woman making changes. They were upset about my character being a demon. She's attracted extensive attention. Really, during the tournament. I was partly upset that she did so well. I had not planned to enter the Grand Melee, And whenever she did enter the finale, she rolled amazingly well. Much to my frustration. Bree, of course, at the time didn't mind, but me, I'm like, oh god, now she's gonna be fucking... It's gonna attract all kinds of fucking attention and notice. So yeah, look towards her exhibiting more of her deceitful, manipulative nature. She is still consumed by wrath and hatred and anger. Those are still driving forces in her life, but House Will, the primary, face of everything she hated, has been crushed. House Wyronwood has moved in. There's eventually going to be a marriage with, the surviving House Will daughter and the second of House Wyronwood's children, who's steward there at the time, are right now. And while there's scattered remnants of House Will all around, and Bree would love to hunt them, she has to focus right now on surviving her house's internal political struggle. She's befriended Rosette to the point where Rosette has trusted Bree. That was something that I did during the downtime, too. Through quite a bit of Gold Dragons, many problems, including Rosette, to get in her good graces enough to have access to this information and be able to control it as a result. Rosette is looking to secure her position, her power, in the house. And she's looking to enlist Bree's aid in doing that. Decim, he has concerns about the new lord. Nima is lurking there on the edges, waiting for, house opinion to shift in such a way that it might result in our new lord having an unfortunate accident. Lanus, Dark's character, is very pleased by current events. He did help to orchestrate them. Yes, but Dark very well knew coming into it, and he said on multiple occasions that he expects something to happen. And the story will go from there. I told him, good. I'm glad, because I imagine something will be. A strong lord threatens our player agency, because we'll have less control over the actions we can take. That is not something that Bree will appreciate. It's not something that I want, although I appreciate the challenge of it. Very much so. I encourage Dark to pursue the course of action that he did. But it's something that Bree will not appreciate. And it's something that she may very well take action against. Bree is a wanted commodity, much to her delight. She's ignored. She's a 12-year-old highborn girl. Who gives a damn about her? And she wants it that way. She wants people to ignore her. It's how she escaped from being kidnapped, whenever people thought that she was so broken that she no longer could present a threat. And that's when all of the money she stole helped to rebuild the castle. And she's alright with being ignored now. Of course, the other player characters don't do that much with her. Decim sees opportunity and power in her. Nini thoroughly respects Bree, despite her being a kid. Nini helped train Bree, helped her get over things. Nini is like Bree's mother figure. And if Nini were more available and perhaps a bit more approachable, Bree still kind of feels awkward coming to her with problems. Because there's no, lady of the house, really. Agatha? Rosette? No. Wouldn't really come to them with, Bree's, personality issues. I went off on a little bit of tangent there. Point being that the player characters don't particularly underestimate Bree. Alaric, Haldamir's character, after that square punch in the jaw during the Grand Melee finale, certainly doesn't. And Lanus? Who can say how Lanus feels? He's certainly not Craven anymore. But Halen Caladan, how much does he expect from my character? How much is he planning? What are his thoughts and feelings? I've organized already what Bree will do in talking to him. She hasn't yet. Bree has her motivations, and I've finally crafted what she will do to completely dismantle Halen. Yes, that would be through Destiny Point burning. But if push comes to shove, she has designs of her own. Of course, those designs might also end up in Halen dying. Who can say? I don't know yet. because she doesn't know yet. We don't know yet, Bree and I. We'll explore that, though, for sure. She'll have to make up her mind at some point. She has not yet been compelled in an intrigue, so she has the freedom to decide as she wishes. And she has no interest in being compelled in an intrigue, whether it be through her running away, her switching to combat, or burning destiny points. I do have 4 of those to spare. Worst case, I'll just yank some destiny points out of qualities, benefits, and drawbacks, because you can do that. Like, no longer want that benefit anymore. No longer applies, I'm saying, because I want a damn destiny point instead. But yeah, if anything, we've focused on Bree's fighting prowess during the campaign. And as she develops, I expect her personality to gain more focus as she grows older and more important. Particularly with the intriguing, fascinating situation involving the new Lord of the House. Alright, I've already repeated myself. This is what happens whenever I just do this shit off the cuff. I had some ideas. I'll put links in the video description if you want to read the little biography update. It's not that particularly long. Hell, you might have already paused this video and read it. If you're interested in looking at her possessions, those haven't really changed, but those are linked to as well. I made like a little conversion section. Yeah, gave away 71 gold dragons and 130 silver stags. Quite a bit of shekels went flowing out of the pockets. And yes, I still have quite a bit more too. Bree is rich. That's what happens whenever you tie for first place in a tournament that you made yourself. She didn't win, so I didn't get a point of wealth to throw at the house. So, you know, I get 100 gold dragons. Alright, our next session is tomorrow. We're not going to have Dark along for that. He has told us already yesterday that he will not be around to participate. And so instead we'll have the adventures of Decim, Bree, and Nema, likely as they head towards House Peasbury, to try and win them over to spiting House Peak, and Haldemir, likely staying at home as he tries to train a bunch of engineers. You know, Dark's character is going to be staying there too, as far as I'm aware. But I don't know. Maybe Dark left some notes with Manikai. Maybe designs will change next session. Maybe the new Lord will want my character for something. Likely not. My character wants to go with Decim and Nema because, well, the last time she prepared troops to do something, that didn't turn out so well. Those archers were fucked and they fused a lot of arrows. And she wants to stick by Decim's side to protect him. She could be heavily underestimated. She'd like to stick by Nema too, but Nema is likely going to vanish into the aether to plot and act on her own, because she is rather deceitful. She does have, I think, a 4 in deception. She's pretty stealthy too. She's got a lot of perks. You know, she's an older character. Certainly. Alright. This is less than 20 minutes. Good job, me. And that was even with several minutes of filler. I don't watch the live broadcasts. Well, rather, you know, I'm a part of the live broadcast, so I almost never look at the chat because I'm too busy focused on the game. Despite me having taken broadcast duties for one time or two. Because Jonas has been away. But you are more than welcome, of course, to watch. It's at 2 p.m. my time on Saturdays. Or 11 p.m. Pacific, or, you know, 19 p.m. GMT, at least according to what Jonas wrote there. You're more than welcome to come along. And I do read the comments that are left in the videos after the fact, as do the other players, and even the GM sometimes too. And so you can follow along there as well. I do have a playlist on my channel where I do have all these things shown. Of course, Haldemir and Rahal have their own channel, which these days is primarily tabletop stuff. Although Jonas is putting up quite a bit of XCOM 2 videos as well. Anyway, because I did say I wanted to have this done within 20 minutes, it's time for me to ride off into the sunset. Take care, everyone.